안녕하세요, 여러분. Welcome to my next video. In this video, we are going to look at what is Batchim. So let's get started. So firstly, let's have a look at the structure of Hangul. Hangul is a phonetic alphabet. It consists of 14 basic consonants and 10 basic vowels. Then characters are combined to form syllables. So as you can see on the right hand side, you've got two types of syllable blocks. These are the basic ones, and we're going to look at all the different types. But C stands for consonant and V stands for a vowel. So you have consonant, vowel, and then consonant at the bottom, which is what we refer to as Batchim. So here we've got the different types of syllable blocks. The first one is a consonant and then a vowel next to it. For example, ka. The next one is consonant and then below it a vowel. For example, ko. So these two are without Batchim, without the final consonant at the bottom. And then the next one is what we've seen in the previous slide. So consonant, then vowel next to it, and then consonant at the bottom, like han. And then the next one is consonant, then vowel under it, and then another final consonant at the bottom. For example, gur. So han, gur. You can also have a double consonant at the bottom, so you will just add an extra consonant to the one you already have at the bottom. For example, ta. You either place the vowel again either on the right side or under it. So we've got the or in the last one. So the rules to remember is that the first letter must always be a consonant. In your syllable block, the first letter must always be a consonant. So nieng is a silent consonant when placed at the beginning of the syllable. And then the second letter will always be a vowel. So if the word starts with a vowel sound, that's okay, but you have to place the nieng, the silent consonant, at the beginning. So always we'll start with a consonant and then it's going to be followed by a vowel. Now, how do you know if a vowel should be placed next to the consonant or under it? So if a vowel consists of a long vertical line, for example, a, o, or e, we place it next to the consonant. So it's the standing up vowel, as I'd like to call them. And if the vowel consists of a long horizontal line, for example, o, u, or u, we place it below the consonant. So like, for example, in ko, okay, it's laying down. And there can be another consonant called Batchim added to the bottom. Only a consonant though, never a vowel. You can have combined vowels that combine together and they're just like a complex vowel, but it's still going to be consonant vowel. And then if you do have a final consonant, a final Batchim, it will be consonant always. Now, in terms of how we read Hangul, so we break the word into syllables or syllable blocks. Usually it does work out the same like when you would split any word into syllables. It's not going to work 100% of the time, but majority of the time it is how you can do it. So here it kind of works nicely. 안녕하세요 is split into 안녕하세요. And then you've got the first block, so you're starting from the left to right and then to the bottom. So bottom left to the bottom right. So we've got an, we've got that silent consonant at the beginning, then a, ne, so an. The next syllable block is nyong, nyong. So we've got 안녕 so far. Then the third syllable block is ha, ha, 안녕 ha. And then we've got the fourth one, which is se, se, 안녕하세. and then the last syllable block is yo. Again, that one is starting with the silent consonant, so it's the yo sound only. So 안녕하세요. That is how you would read hunger. So Batchim, what is Batchim? Batchim refers to the final consonant in a Korean syllable block. It can affect the pronunciation of the syllable. So it is that final one at the bottom. Remember, you don't always have to have Batchim. You can just have consonant and a vowel, that's fine. But if there is that final consonant at the bottom, that is what is Batchim. So in terms of the pronunciation, what makes Batchim unique is that presence of Batchim, or the presence of the final consonant, can alter the pronunciation of a syllable, especially when it's in the final position compared to the initial position. So we've got consonant siot at the bottom. It is pronounced as the sound rather than s sound. So it's not os, but ot. And here in this next slide, you've got it grouped together. So all of these ones, when they are in the final position at the bottom, they get pronounced as either k or n or t. So the t, we've got a huge group of the ones that are t. And for example, the second one, nien, the n sound, it pronounces the same at the beginning and at the end. So the sound there, that doesn't change. It just is n, whether it is at the beginning or at the end. And these are all the double consonants and the sound it produces. So we've got k sound, n sound, t sound, k sound, m sound, l sound, t sound, again t sound, p sound, l sound, and p sound. So all of these double consonants, you just got to remember what sound they are making. But here is where it gets a little bit more interesting. So the rule is that if the word ends with a Batchim, so a final consonant, or it is followed by a consonant other than the silent consonant, the Batchim pronunciation applies. So in the slide where they were all grouped together and it's told you what sound it produces when they are at the bottom, it applies. That is the Batchim pronunciation. So for example, 곧, on its own, just one flower, is the ch sound is pronounced as the sound. So 곧, not 곧. And also, so if it's just that it ends with the Batchim pronunciation applies. If it's followed by another syllable that starts with not the silent consonant, then it still applies. So it's 곧들, 곧들. But if the word that ends with Batchim is followed by our silent consonant, then it's as if that Batchim fights with the silent consonant, and the silent consonant is silent. It doesn't produce any sound. So in a sense that Batchim consonant is taken over the place of the silent consonant, meaning that what happens is it no longer produces the Batchim sound, but its original sound. So when you want to say kochi, it's not koti, but kochi. It's still spelled as the first way, as a Batchim and then e next to it, but it's as if that Batchim then transfers over to the next syllable and becomes ch sound instead of the sound. And the same thing happens with double consonants. So pak would be just on its own, more like the k sound, but when it is followed by a silent consonant, those two at the bottom split, and the one that is closer to the silent consonant will then transfer across, and then now you can pronounce all the consonants properly. So 밝아, 밝아 is the correct pronunciation. Okay, let's have a look at some more examples. So we've got 찾아. So it's not 찾다, but 찾아. 찾아. If it is ending in with ta, or if it's just on its own, 찾, then that would have the T or 찾다, 찾다 to find in its dictionary form. But because it's followed by the silent consonant, it's 찾아. To the right, we've got 고치, yeah? 고치, we've had that. So 곧 on its own, 받침 pronunciation applies. The sound, 곧들, again, because it is followed by another syllable, but it's not starting with the silent consonant. And 고치, because the silent consonant fights with the 받침, and the 받침 wins because 받침 has a sound, silent consonant doesn't, so 고치. Then we've got 따라. So with rir, it's kind of a tricky sound, but if it is 받침, it's more towards the L sound. It's not completely L or R, but as a 받침, it's more to the L sound. So like 날, yeah, 날 is more L sound, but 따라 is more towards the R sound. So as a 받침, more towards the L sound, and as a first consonant, more towards the R sound, R sound, okay? And then the last one is 눈이. Now with the nian, it has the same pronunciation whether it's at the beginning or at the end. So this one doesn't matter. It stays the same no matter what. 눈이, 눈, same thing. So again, we've got 옷, which means clothes. On its own is nothing followed, so it just stops there and 받침 pronunciation applies. 옷. 옷이, however, is now followed by the silent consonant, and the rule with Hangul is that if the s sound is followed by e, it's not s, it's more sh, so 옷이, okay? And that's always gonna be the case. For example, you've got 10 in term like 10, number 10, 10. So it's not 10, but 10. And 옷들, 옷들. Again, it is followed by another syllable, but that is not the silent consonant. So 곧 on its own, the 받침 pronunciation applies. 고치, not anymore, because the 받침 wins against the silent consonant. And 곧들, well, no, it doesn't win because 티귿 has its own strong sound, so the 받침 pronunciation applies. Alright, that is it for today's video. Leave me a comment if you have any questions, and if you enjoyed this lesson, please like, subscribe, because it really supports my channel, and I will see you in our next video. 다음에 또 봐요!